everyone, and welcome back. I wanted to start today's video by giving a little bit of background history about myself, and hopefully by the end of this video I have said something that is of interest to you, that you will like and subscribe to my channel. Well, first of all, my name is Alisa Babasola, Babasola, and it is pronounced exactly how it is spelled. I am a mom of two. I am over 40 years old, and I have been in education for over 20 years. So let's get a little history about myself. I am currently residing in Texas, and I have two brothers. I'm the oldest of three, and of course I'm the only girl. And I'm a person that loves to be around family, have fun, eat delicious food, and of course some fashion. And so pretty much my channel will center around motherhood, how not to feel bad when you are tired and you can't do everything, but to also grow myself professionally, but not give up being a good mom in order to pursue a better career. And I also want people to know that no matter what, my grandmother used to say, it takes the same amount of energy to put on a tacky outfit versus a cute one. And so I'm going to do my best to put my best foot forward each and every day, and I hope you come along with this journey with me. So having said that, I was a teacher for 13 years, and I taught 2nd, 4th, and 5th grade. And then I got a blessing where I applied for and became an instructional coach. And an instructional coach in the state of Texas is a person who helps teachers become better teachers. And I did that for 5 years. And then I got another opportunity where I interviewed and I became an assistant principal. And I'm currently in year 5 of being an assistant principal at an elementary campus. Also, I work for one of the largest school districts in Texas, and I've been in public education for about 23 years. I am also over the age of 40, and I said earlier I have 2 kids. My husband and I are the old parents at the playground. It is funny because all of my friends, and I do mean every single one, all of their kids are grown or in college. We're the only ones still with kids either in middle school or elementary, but we are blessed. And it did take us a while to receive those blessings. And if you're curious about that, our pregnancy journey, leave me a comment below and I have no problem sharing. Let's see what else. I am a person that does like fashion, but I'm gonna be clear, I am part of a working family, and we are not rich. We do the best of our can to spread our money evenly, where we go on vacations, try to upgrade our home, eat out, eat good food, and just to do fun things. And so we try to our best to live a balanced life. I am a Christian, but during the COVID years, I did not attend church like I should. And I really want to raise my kids, well, our kids, in the same fashion that our parents raised us, and that is to be a part of church. And I really think that a lot of my confidence and my ability to speak in front of others was given to me from being raised in the church. And so now I'm getting my behind up and out of bed and doing more of that because I want my kids to have those same experiences. And I think that for me, there's a certain quality, confidence that I receive from church that I haven't found anywhere else. And I want to make sure that my kids have that as well. 2, I am a mom that really does believe in cooking. My father, he's in heaven now, was an excellent cook, and my mother as well. But food was definitely a passion of my father. And I want my kids to have some of that good food. It seems like every day we are realizing there's more chemicals in processed foods. And I just want them to have a healthier and better lifestyle than the one that I had. And so they won't have as many health issues going forward. What else I wanted to share with you all? I am getting back into habits. I really am going to get back into scrapbooking. But the main thing is I love to read. And I love to make sure I participate in the activities that my kids enjoy. And that's pretty much it. I really like being around family and friends. There is nothing more joyful for me than being around people that know me, know my heart, who give me grace if I put my foot in my mouth because they understand where I'm coming from. And it's just something really magical about good old-fashioned fun. Having said that, that is what my channel is going to be about. It is going to be about motherhood, the highs and the lows, because as much as I love my kids, I am an older parent, and sometimes they get on my nerves. They do. 2, it is about growing myself professionally because I still have another decade to work in order and before I can actually retire. And I'm going to do my best to be the best professional that I can, but I am going to make sure that I have that work-life balance. As an educator, I do not want to spend all of my time growing and developing other people's kids and not my own. So I am going to put some roadblocks and some red lines in the road for myself to make sure that I spend just as much time with my own children as I do with others. And also, I think that I know I want this channel to be about the tips and little ways that we can cut down our time, because I also value myself. I want to get healthier. I do have some health issues. I want to have more peace and some more calm. I want to release stress and not be quick to be agitated. And I also want to spend time with my husband. I do not want to be one of those people that as soon as the kids are out of the house, we get divorced because our connection has disappeared. And so my main focus is going to be on motherhood, growing myself professionally, and doing all that I can to live my best life. So if that sounds like a channel that you're interested in, please like and subscribe this channel. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments below, and I have no problem answering them. First, I'm going to show you my Christmas dishes. It is something that I inherited, and these are our everyday plates that we use all throughout the month of December. And then I save my special Christmas dishes for the actual Christmas dinner. And so it's just a bunch of plates. I don't know what happened to the bowls because I did inherit this set, but it is good enough for us. But I am on the hunt for some Christmas bowls. So let me know in the comments if you see any. Also, I inherit this set. Oh my God. This set has to be 35, maybe even close to 40 years old. It is so old that the edges were trimmed and it's a little bit still there in 14 karat gold, so you know it cannot go into the microwave. And so I have a lot of these plates, and I just realized I also have the smaller plates as well, but throughout the years, I don't know what happened to the glasses, but they're gone. So I did go by Dollar Tree. They did not have the big selection like they normally do, but I was able to get 2 of these because I don't know where my glass cups went. So I have 2 of these, and then I have 4 of these, which says love, peace, and joy. But I'm going to go back to another Dollar Tree because I'm one of those people, I like a complete set. But this is for today's dinner, and I'm going to try to go back and at least get about 4 more, so I know that I have at least enough to serve 8 people. Actually, yeah, 4 more glasses. All right, guys, I'm going to clear this away, and then I'm going to start on tonight's Sunday dinner. 1 second. All right, guys, I am back. This is my daughter, Bria. Bria, say hello to the people.
Hello.
So I am teaching her how to cook. So we know a nasty cook is not a good cook. So I always train my children to wash their hands. Anyway, the next thing I'm doing is I'm folding up her sleeves. And as you can see, I changed my sweater to a short one. I don't know what it is, but I cannot cook properly when I'm constantly pushing up my sleeves. So on tonight's menu, we're doing a roasted chicken. If you watched my previous video, you already know I made cornbread dressing on Thanksgiving Day. And since we were going to my cousin's house, I baked the dressing and then I froze it for today's dinner. And then I'm going to make some Brussels sprouts. And what else? My mother made greens and she requested cornbread. I don't know why we have cornbread with cornbread stuffing, but she was like, it is a sin to have greens without fresh cornbread. So I'm going to make that as well. And then for all my moms, especially my working moms, well, you know what? Every mom is a working mom. Let me take that back. For my tired moms, I'm not making a fresh pie. I'm using Marie Callender's cherry pie because who requested that?
Me.
Bria did. And we're going to have that for dessert and some ice cream. So the first thing I always do is, one of my tips for moms is always do some of your meal prepping ahead of time. I normally do that at night while my kids are taking a bath and I have wound down a little bit and I don't feel so like, oh, I got to get this done. So even since I return back to work on tomorrow, my Thanksgiving break is over. A little sad about that. But I always do my little bit of my meal prepping every night because my husband helps me as well. So in those long days, for me, coming up, my long nights will be Tuesday and Wednesday because my daughter here is getting into competitive cheer. And so they have extra practice on those days. So my husband will be taking over cooking for those days, and I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. So therefore, I've already cleaned and I cut the chicken in half to cut down on the cooking time. I like to use Ina Gardner's recipe for roasted chicken. And so that's what I'm going to do here. I've already preheated the oven, slide over, baby, to 425. Always make sure you check your stove. You will be surprised. Your kids will like, oh, I'm going to save money. I didn't eat. And they'll leave it in the stove. And next thing you know, smoke is coming out. So I preheated the stove. I checked it. And I'm cooking today's chicken in this gigantic cast iron skillet. This thing is old. I've had it for about 10 years. It is made by the Lodge family or company, I guess. And how long? Oh, I bought this actually from Amazon. Okay, so having said that, let me get started. I'm going to utilize my sous chef. Go get a stick of butter. And then I'm going to get the seasonings. Okay, guys, I am back. For those who don't know what bleach water is, I grew up with my grandmother and my mother, and they always trained me a clean kitchen must have the smell of bleach in the dishwater. And so I always start a sink full of sudsy bleach water, so therefore anything I'm using, I can dump it in there. It soaks before the meal is done, and so it'll be easy clean up and, of course, disinfect it. All right, my boo, go ahead and get the salt and pepper. And I want you to place it right here because we can already season up the chicken like I told the people. All right. All right, so first I season up with salt. And just a little. Then, of course, the black pepper, because then I'm going to actually also add some Lawry seasoning salt. I'm just going to do a sprinkling of that. See how I did that? Okay, then I season it with a little thyme. And I kind of go up high because to me it seems like you can see it better when you go up high. Then I do the infamous rosemary. And then I stop there. Now I'm going to flip the chicken. And I make sure everything is there. I tuck in the wings, and I'll show you all that in a second. Going back in with the Lawry seasoning salt now. And I'm a little bit more generous on the top. A little bit of the thyme. And then, of course, the rosemary. Then I'm going to take the stick of butter because I use a whole stick of butter when it comes to my chicken because I always end up making some gravy. Bria, hand me a butter knife, please. Okay, and I'm just going to cut this into some little cubes because I'm going to stick some of this underneath the skin of the chicken. Slide that back. See what I'm doing? Mm-hmm. So you lift the skin up and you place it between the meat and the skin, but you don't want to tear up the skin too much because you want that skin to be crispy. And you don't forget the thighs. Even though the thighs are the juiciest part, you put some of that butter by the thighs as well. And you just squeeze as much butter back underneath that skin as possible. Push it back if you got to. And you can go through the neck as well. That way everything, you see what I'm doing? All right, boom. Now the chicken is done. I'm gonna bring the camera up close, and then we're gonna put this in the oven on 425. And I normally let it cook for 60 minutes, and then I check it to see if the chicken is done. So while mommy washes her hand, put the tops on the seasoning and put it back by the stove. So this is how the chicken looks. It is done. I'm just going to add some onions to it, and voila, we have a roasted chicken in just about an hour. Next, we are going to make the cornbread. I forgot the bowl. No, I didn't. It's right here. I'm just going to mix it all together. I'm not making a lot of cornbread because I already told you I have cornbread stuffing, but this is in particularly for my mother. And I do it old school style. It's 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of cornmeal, 1 stick of butter, and 1 cup of milk. And then it is 1 teaspoon of baking powder and a pinch of salt and about 2 tablespoons or so of sugar. So I'm going to begin.
First with my 1 cup of flour. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm adding my sugar. This is not two measurements, I just go with it. And then go ahead and put that pepper bag. I add a dash of salt. Then I add 1 cup of cornmeal. Put that out. If memory serves me correctly, I do 1 tablespoon, no, teaspoon, is it a tablespoon or teaspoon? Teaspoon of baking powder, because I'm only making a little bit. Last but not least, not my ingredient, 1 cup of milk. Oh, and Brie, I hand me 2 eggs. Typically, I would use, do I have eggs already? See if it's behind there. Typically, I would do 1 egg, but I'm into the brown eggs lately, and so therefore, I use 2 because eggs are not very large. And I drop the shell. Let me get that out of there, because people cannot stand that, people. Check, make sure you get it out. I should have put it in a bowl. There we go. Right there. All right, friend, go put that in the tray. And what I like to do is I like to mix up the cornbread before I add the butter. That way I will make sure that that hot butter cooks the eggs. Go ahead and put the milk up, boo. Okay. Let me bring y'all closer. So that is the cornbread mixture. Then I'm going to add the butter. So you see that? I stir that in. I don't use oil, I use butter. Go ahead and put that in the sink. And I slowly incorporate the butter into the cornbread mix, and I'm going to set this to the side because it doesn't take cornbread that long to cook, and I want this to be hot out of the oven when it's dinner time. And that chicken has, gosh, what, 50 more minutes?
I do a lot of my meal prepping at night. So I've already diced the peppers, the ham, and the onions that's going to go in the Brussels sprouts. I'm using frozen Brussels sprouts, so I defrosted those. I'm going to cut those in half. I have extra onions that's going to go in the gravy. In fact, I'm going to go add that to the chicken. And then last but not least, I had a bag. I don't know why I bought this, but I went ahead and did it. I bought a bag of frozen diced sweet potatoes. I think I was going to add it to a soup, and I changed my mind. So I already added some honey, brown sugar, cinnamon, and butter, and that's going to bake right along with the cornbread when it's time to eat. Okay, guys, as you can see, I have the butter sizzling in the pan. I have the vegetables to the side. This is the stock that's slowly cooking. I turn it down low, and I added a fresh jalapeno that is straight from my mother's garden, and I thought a little spice to the gravy would be delicious. Okay, guys, I am getting ready to sizzle up these vegetables.
see I sliced up the Brussels sprouts. They're in there now. I'm not going to add any pepper until the end, just in case I was a little spicy jalapeno. Add a little bit more salt. And then I'm going to cook this over medium heat.
What I am doing at this particular time is getting the dishes in the sink. I begin washing because I am a big believer of clean as you cook. So therefore you won't have a big mess when you're finally done. All right, guys, that is the roasted chicken. This is the brown sugar sweet potatoes. I will not buy frozen sweet potatoes ever again. This is the dressing. I took half of it out to heat up, and then I'll show you what's next. This is the gravy with the giblets, and this is the Brussels sprouts with the ham and peppers. The fresh cornbread, and the final plate of my Sunday dinner. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please consider subscribing, and until the next time, I wish you lots of joy and, of course, many blessings. Bye, guys.